The United States and Soviet Union's race to space all started in 1957 when the Soviets launched the first man-made satellite named Sputnik into Earth's orbit. This, of course, put the Soviets in the lead of the space race. Launched on October 4th, 1957, Sputnik became the world's first artificial satellite. Traveling at 18,000 miles per hour, Sputnik was able to circle the globe every 96 minutes. This was a great victory for the Soviets. Unfortunately for the United States, this is not the only thing the Soviets achieved first. While attempting to catch up, the United States faced many embarrassing failures. Finally, on January 31st, 1958, the United States launched their first successful satellite into orbit. April 12, 1961, a Soviet cosmonaut became the first human to travel to space. This sent devastation towards the United States. President John F. Kennedy vowed to make sure that the United States would not settle for second place and that we would put the first man on the moon. Thus began the Apollo program. On July 20th, 1969, although not there to witness it, Kennedy's promise was achieved. The United States successfully landed Apollo 11 on the moon. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first men to land on the moon, Armstrong being the first to actually step foot on the moon. Upon his landing, Armstrong stated, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Apollo took the name of 17 missions, 12 of which were manned missions. Apollo 1 was lost during the test on the launch pad, which led to the loss of a 3-person crew. Apollo 13 would have been the third mission to land on the moon, but due to an explosion in one of the oxygen tanks that crippled the spacecraft, the crew was forced to return to Earth. 2 spacecrafts went into Earth's orbit, 2 went into lunar orbit, 6 landed on the moon, 3 made use of the lunar rovering vehicle. From 1969 to 1972, the Soviets attempted lunar launches 4 different times, none of which were successful. One, on July of 1969, resulted in a launch pad explosion. The Apollo-Soyuz test project flight took place on July 1957. 3 U.S. astronauts and 2 Soviet cosmonauts exchanged these flags as a symbol of the first international manned space vulture.